And welcome in. We are live. Welcome to Mayhem Gaming's Evils of Enferacuse. And I am your evil DM, Concliad. Nice to see you all. Welcome into our game tonight titled Ethereal Rituals 204. We have some one-shot players with us, and welcome in Magic Academy, Mayhem. Hey Flight, how we doing? Glad you are all hanging out with us. I'm going to let my players introduce themselves. Players, can you see yourselves on the screen just so I make sure if I say left to right, you actually all see it?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll let you introduce
Circle.
Yes. Introduce yourself and who you will be playing this evening. Starting on the left.
So that is me.
I think it's
Is it me?
I think it's Elmore on the left.
Okay.
Hi, this is Old Worm Slayer. Some of you have seen me streaming on ADHD Adventures. I will be playing Elmar, the Asmar Light Domain Cleric.
Very nice.
All right. I'm my name is I go by Forgetful Penguin. Here on Twitch, I'm a variety streamer, VTuber. And tonight I am playing Danis Dree, an Eladrin Blade Singer.
That's probably my time to go. My name is Brian. I'm actually this is actually my first time actually doing one of these. I am playing Gloomthorn, the rock gnome who is a Circle of Moon druid who gets into trouble sometimes. Let's just say that.
Very good. And it seems like a nice group that we will have. We had one who couldn't make it. Unfortunately, Stabby Queen couldn't make it tonight, so we wish them well, but we hope to catch up again with them sometime soon too. But without further ado, we will move on to Evils of Enferacuse. Our story picks up today in Enferacuse, a city full of wonder and full of interesting places. And one of those places is the Forgotten Flame. The College of the Forgotten Flame is all about magical learning and has a very simple rule for its entrance. You gotta have magic and you gotta have the money. Very simple how you got there is that you had to be able to pay your way to be able to learn from the magisters there how to take your magic to a new level. each of you as players today are coming into what would be either your second or your third semester at the Forgotten Flame. You have spent some time in the classes. You have been there a little bit of time. So just keep that in mind as you're making decisions and as you're thinking about who you are today. It is a nice, yet a bit overcast day in Enferacuse, and you'll see amongst the stone halls that it is the first day of classes. People are busy, bustling in between different places, going on to take their magic studies. There's a wide range of people here. There's a wide range of not people here. There's a wide range of folks who've been studying magic from all different areas and backgrounds. Like they say, if you have magic, you can do well at the Forgotten Flame. Now, our day picks up this is your first class of the day that you have come out of whatever you've been studying, and I will let each of you choose what your first class prior has been. You can tell me what it is, and we will go with it, and I'll help you pick up from there. So, Elmar, what was your first magical class of the day?
The applications of light magic.
All right. You walk out of the classroom, which for some reason, I think based on a mishap with one of your colleagues, is very bright inside. It is basically, as soon as the door has opened, it has blinded those in the hallway. So that they are folks passing by. Oh gosh, it's worse than the sun. And someone who looks strictly anti-sunlight, very specifically and hooded, really is rushing past. But you're able to make your way out of the classroom. You have about 5 minutes and plenty of time to get to your next class. So what direction would you like to head?
Directly to class.
All right. We'll pick back up with you in a moment. Janice, what class were you coming out of?
I'm just finishing up my morning round of fencing practice with the arcane fencing team.
You have basically come off of a large open pitch kind of space. It's not, since the Forgotten Flame is very much geared towards magic, it's outside activities, even though spell slinging and fencing kind of go hand in hand. It's maybe not as funded as some of the other areas. And so you note they basically made a space that's a little bit more of an outdoor sparring space. So you have thanked your lucky stars that today has been a little bit more overcast and not fully raining cats and dogs. You are able to take off your gear. You've already got it all stowed away for what you need. Are you taking anything from fencing class with you?
Yeah, I carry my gear with me as throughout the day as I normally do. I would normally take it back to my accommodations to my dorm, but I am running a little late on this first day of class. So I think I've got everything with me in my pack as I kind of run my way to make it to class on time.
I will say you still have 5 minutes. Are you heading directly there or off to something just in between?
I'm heading directly there, but I know the distance between where I'm at and where I need to be, and I don't want to be late, so I'm booking it.
Let you use a dash action there. So we'll assume that you're on your way, moving swiftly. Gloomthorn, what class were you just in that you were studying in?
That was probably would be like animal handling / shifting class. Trying to learn a new animal to wild shape into and whatnot.
You can tell that some of your classmates are really making the effort. Though you had some limited success in the animal you're trying to, they're basically walking out of the classroom, making noises, trying to attune themselves even further to the animal in some mental way, shape, or form. To your other magical peers who are not involved with animals, to a bit of an annoying effect. So you walked out of the classroom that sounds like it has a barnyard and or foresty kind of vibe. Are you headed directly to class, or are you going to stop somewhere first?
I'm probably gonna stop at my locker because it was probably not probably kind of still trying to like shift out of the animal mentality because I tried to do a very difficult animal. Even though the teacher was kind of like, "Hey, just try to go easy and whatnot," I decided to be an overachiever, and I went for a very exotic animal. So I probably still have some bits of either feathers or scales still on my skin in places of the animal I was in, and I'm still trying to be like, oh, I'm like brushing it off, trying to go back to my gnomish form. Um, and then probably heading to my locker, probably shoving a bunch of papers and stuff and notes that I took in class before we went to the practical part, and probably looking at the time, being like, oh, I gotta get to my next class, and then slamming my locker and hurrying off to my next one.
Okay.
Is that fur growing out of your ears?
Probably there's a little bit of fur out of the ears, probably like a rogue tail that kind of is ever shrinking by the second, because the tail was the hard part and probably shouldn't have been done.
As an FYI, the Gray Jedi in the chat has given each of you a Chaos die, which means you have an additional dice that you can roll on a check at any point going forward this evening. So if you feel like you need some level of advantage for the D6, you can get a D6 for each of you. This is yep, I think there's chaos die for each of you here. So very nice. So everybody gets a D6 to be able to play around with a bit here. At some point.
Awesome.
Yay.
So Gloomthorn, your locker, you pull up to your locker and you're kind of doing what you were saying, just getting things in there. Kind of pulling aside of you, you see that 2 lockers down, there's another locker opening up. You can just kind of tell in the corner of your eye, and you see a half elf and as well as a dragonborn kind of just chit chatting next to that locker. Not huddled, but very like aloof and just kind of looking around, like nothing in the world is bothering them. So you recognize them as people that you've seen around. That kind of like if there was a clique of popular people, that's kind of the popular magic people, kind of what they might look like there. So they're a little bit older. That so they're not like they're young, probably like the 25. The the Dragonborn looks like maybe a little bit older at 35. But you kind of get a sense of who they are. The Dragonborn having dark ichor black scales coming off of them, but both are dressed very impeccably in some really nice robes. So
I'm probably comparing mine, being like, oh, I kind of need to wash the robe again because it's mishaps and everything.
You note that since they've noticed you're looking at them, they're kind of looking down, and you see a wry smirk come from the half elf.
Oh no!
What are you looking at?
Nothing at all. And I kind of pretend to rummage in my locker, but kind of still listening out for their conversation a little bit. Not trying to keep like eye contact, but kind of like pretend that I'm doing something, but kind of like keep an ear of what they're talking about.
Can you believe who they let in here? They let in anybody they want to in this place. We can do it whatever we want, so they can do whatever they want. Why would we feel bad about that? That's not what I mean. It's just the rabble that's in here. And you can hear them basically talking about you without talking about you, just right there. Without looking at you, just doing it.
And I kind of probably would like shove the rest of my stuff in my locker, probably at that point kind of slam, not really like try to make a scene with my locker, but kind of slam the locker and hurry on to my next class, because I'm just like, oh, I've been paying attention too long. I need to go.
Okay. Dennis, can you give me a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah. Well, here we go. Oh, that's a solid 10.
Oh, you notice right as you're rushing because you were trying to really hurry off the class that of you right in front of you, peeling off of a locker, is a gnome that you can see over. Just you didn't realize they were coming off the edge of the locker so quickly. Though you do note them and you don't really want to hit them, you basically bowl right into them.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I wasn't
yeah.
watching where I was going.
Oh gosh. It's okay. Can I here? Let me help you pick up your. Oh man. I gotta get to class. And I'll help pick up things, but I'll do it in quite a hurry.
You'll probably see like a couple of vials and a couple of like other like just miscellaneous like stuff and papers and whatnot, and I'm trying to like shove them in my bag and whatnot, and trying to hurry as well, but at the same time, kind of like looking at the like how you're dressed and kind of like your gear and everything, and I'm kind of like kind of mumbling to myself like, oh my gosh, I hit it. I ran into a jock. I ran into one of the jocks. Oh my gosh, I'm so totally like screwed socially now and everything else.
You hear
Like,
laughter.
kind of-
You hear laughter coming from both the half elf and the dragonborn.
I'm gonna give them like a kind of like a dirty eye and not say anything, but just kind of give them a stank eye while I pick stuff up and hand it back to the gnome.
And you see a bit of a turn in the poof and a walk off as the two the two head off towards classes.
do I kind of like see them as they're kind of like gone out of like earshot? Do I kind of notice that?
Let's say if you're paying attention, you'll see them go down a corridor and make a right turn.
Why are all, and I'd probably say this like to you, it's like, why are, like, again, yes, they let a lot of everybody in here because everybody needs a magical opportunity, but why are people like that always seem to be the higher standard of this place?
I will just kind of smile and nod. I guess that's just how it is sometimes. But look here, here's your stuff back. I gotta get going though, and I'll head off towards class again.
All right, sorry for bumping into you again.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of-
no.
like rummage my stuff back into my bag, and I kind of look at the time again, and I'm like, oh no, and I run off to my next class as well.
Okay. Elmar, you arrived to the classroom space first, and it appears that the door is locked at the moment. You can't really get into it yet. While you're waiting, you see that nobody else is making their way up to the class, and you kind of know that there's a bit of a history with ethereal rituals. That it is not a class that most folks are really looking to take. So you're not terribly surprised that there's no one around. What you do eventually though see, kind of walking towards you, a half elf and a dragonborn in some really nicely dressed robes, coming up, just chatting with one another, looking down at the world, and then making their way to the stopped classroom with you. They are not acknowledging your presence. What would you like to do?
Like they're not acknowledging my presence, or they're daring. I'm trying to make sure I understood you correctly. Like they're basically ignoring the fact that I'm there.
Yep. That is the right call.
I will ignore the fact that they're there
Fair enough.
because they're not worth my time.
Danis, as you make your way to class, you see the two that you had recently run into and had that bit of a smirk at up to the door, with an Azamar who's standing there. There's a little bit of shine coming off the clothes of the Azamar. Like there's some residual lighting kind of taking place that you're unsure of what it is.
Okay, I am. Yeah, I'll kind of take a look at the ASMR and get a quick look around my surroundings here. and find a place to sit, maybe
Oh.
towards the front of the class.
Oh, it's not open yet, so the door is still shut.
Oh, the door's still oh, yeah. So
And
I'll
it's
just
it's kind of at a dead end hallway too, so you know that there's no other place for any folks who are heading in that direction really to go, except for the class.
Gotcha. So I'll walk up to the ASMR because I know these other two guys and they've already kind of gotten on my bad side. I'm not a big fan of bullies, and so I'll walk over to the ASMR and just say, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Man, can you believe we've got to take ethereal rituals?
Yeah, especially with those two. But it's an alright class. I mean, could be worse.
I don't. It really has nothing to do with what I want to learn. I've got absolutely no interest in learning about. I'll be honest. I don't even really understand what ethereal rituals are. But man, I want to go back and I've been fencing all morning and working on this new technique. I don't have you caught any of the arcane fencing here at school?
Not a
No.
few.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. That's kind of my thing. I'm really into it right now, and I've been working on this new move that I really like to get back in. Are you glowing right now?
Yeah, somebody in my previous class overdid a daylight spell.
Uh, oh man. You gotta love magic school, you know? Lots of
Gloomthorn, you're coming up to your class, and you note that the last three people you've met in the hallway are all kind of sitting about with another ASMR at the end of the hallway towards class.
I kind of notice them, and I immediately kind of slow myself, and I kind of put myself off to the side, like very like obviously the very introvert wallflower kind of kid, where like I kind of looking down at my own stuff, making sure everything's there, like kind of pretending not to be there, but obviously kind of trying to listen into the conversation, but not like making any sort of eye contact with like anybody at the moment.
I'm gonna as soon as I see him coming, I'm gonna look at him and be like, okay, hey man, hey, come over here. I didn't know you were in this class.
Oh, hi again. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself when we bumped in earlier. I am Gloomthorn. A lot of people call me Gloom because I tend to not be the happiest of people sometimes.
Hey, I get that. Sometimes I'm in winter season and I feel a little bit down like that too. So I get it. I get it for sure. Hey, Gloom, I'm Hey, Elmar. Yeah, and I'm Danis. It's nice to meet you guys. Elmar was just telling me he got lit up in his last class.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. You kind of are kind of bright, and you kind of see him kind of like rummage through his bag, like he's looking for something. He's like, I may have something that might be able to help with that. And you just hear clinking and whatnot, like all in his bag, and whatnot. Like you don't know what he's looking for, but it's kind of obvious he's trying to find something.
Yeah,
You hear
I
a
know
loud.
I'm bright. I'm brighter than those two ever are.
You hear a loud.
And he's gesturing at the bullies.
You hear a loud like knocking noise coming from the other side of the door, kind of in the midst of your rummaging. It sounds like something hit something rather hard. But then you hear a door kind of unclasp, and opening the door, you see what you would, based on what you see in size, would appear to be a halfling, but you're unsure if it actually is. It's just a older, wizened fellow holding a cane, long flowing white hair, just kind of looks like they have opened the door for you, but also looks like they may have, based on a bit of a mark on their head, hit the door with their head on the opening. Hey, everyone, Everyone, make your way in. Come on, come in, come on. And he is hobbling back out of the doorway to give you space to enter.
Greetings, Professor, and I will make my way in.
It's Magister, young man. Magister, you have to remember. We have titles here for a reason.
I'm sorry. He said Magister.
Magister. Yes, he did say Magister,
Okay.
which if
Okay.
you would know that basically all of your professors, teachers, whatnot have been named that, except for the person who is the fencing coach, which would be named a coaching title, and also the person who's in charge of working with herbs and plants and plant work. For some reason, they don't have the name of Magister either, but. Going forward, you can enter the classroom at this point. And when I say enter the classroom, I will send you all a link in Discord in a moment. But if you're on the Twitch right now, you can see, thank you to Gray Jedi, who provided this classroom map that we will be using today. I'm going to send that map to each of you as well. Or I'm going to put it into the, at least I think I will put it into the chat if you give me just a moment. The idea will be that you enter the classroom, there's a long red rug in front of you, followed on either side by many desks, many more desks than there are any of you who are entering this classroom space, and then a couple of large ritual spaces up in the front of the classroom, followed by a desk and a lectern. And as I said, I'm going to send a copy of that to the chat so each of you can see it too. There we go. It is uploading to each of you. So if you haven't had a chance to see, if you want to pop into the Discord, check the game chat to see it. You'll see it there as well. The small wizard makes his way up to the front, stopping at the lectern. What do you all choose to do?
I'm gonna kind of watch my new I would call them friends, because as of right now, one kind of helped me with two of the bullies of the school, so I'm gonna kind of steer clear of them, and I'm gonna like kind of usher, like not really usher, but like kind of like motion my new friends over to like a section of the seats and whatnot, like kind of close to the lectern, but not like oh my gosh, teacher's pet close.
I was gonna say, yeah, perfect. Like right kind of middle of the row. That's where Dennis
Yeah.
likes to hang out too.
I guess I would define that you're in the second to front row kind of section. Do you pick the right or the left?
I will watch the two like bully kids and see which side they choose, and I'm gonna sit us on the opposite from them.
We're gonna say that those two picked the left hand side 4 rows back.
Okay, then I'm gonna pick the right side, middle-ish, like kind of front, but not like in the front direct row.
Okay, where do the two of you go as well?
Yeah, I'll go plop down next to Gloom.
I will sit 2 seats behind Gloom, so that way the residue of light doesn't disrupt their ability to pay attention to the class.
So you're
to the Magister.
You're about even with the Dragonborn and the half elf then at that point.
Oh, before we sit, I actually pull something out of my bag and I hand it to oh my gosh, I'm forgetting names already. To our bright friend, and go, this may lessen the brightness. When I made it in the herb garden. It should help.
Perfect.
Okay. He'll try using it before sitting down and see if it actually helps lessen the light.
Roll a d20, just a flat one.
Okay.
That was the one thing is I haven't figured out how to do that. And
For anybody who's in Twitch
And-
right now, we can no longer see Gloomthorn's avatar. We will work back at that once we get into the break. But right now, because we do have some Discord things that kind of pop in and out. You have went frozen away at the moment. Looks like everybody mostly has went frozen at the moment. I think in the future we'll be working on Zoom. But what was
Zoom works better.
what was your outcome of your roll?
13.
The glowing on your clothing really starts to dissipate with that, and you kind of seems like it's a little bit more natural to what it was meant to be.
Okay, then I'll move closer to Gloom.
Okay.
So that way I'm not in the same row as the bullies who are beneath me.
Now, as all of you have sat down, you've gotten up there. You note that the Magister is still making their way to the front, just moving a bit slower. So they're still making their way. Okay, all right. And they just kind of get to the lectern and start to really steady themselves on the lectern, just kind of start eyeing the group. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Ethereal Rituals 204. Okay. Ethereal Rituals 204. I want to make sure you're all where you should be. Let's do a bit of a roll call here. All right. Dennis Dre. Dennis Dre? Hello?
I think we lost him on Discord.
Oh no. That
Because he did the same thing I did. I was making sure I heard everybody. I left and then came back and then like he's just gone.
Oh no, of course.
He's having to restart his computer.
Okay.
Oh.
that
Oh no.
that can happen from time to time. That's a thing. Again, we were talking a lot about
There
how
he is.
technology can be a thing. Well, the avatar is still in place because the avatar is frozen. So that's currently still working. But welcome back, Penguin. You'll hear the old gentleman just went out and said, "Dennis Dre, roll call, Dennis Dre."
I was nodding off just a little bit, and I'll kind of start up. Oh, here, present here. Sorry, Magister.
It's all right. It's tiring to get up here. I understand. All right, Arthur Galleon. Arthur, and you see the Dragonborn basically wave a lazy hand in the air at the Magister at that point. Oh, okay, all right, great. Let's see here. Gloomthorn.
As I'm like kind of scribbling some notes in a notebook that I pulled out of my bag, I kind of raise my hand. Oh, here, sir, here.
Oh, I see you're eager. Good there. We do appreciate that here. Good, very good. All right, Elma.
Bright as always.
Good on you, Elma. And let's see, oh gosh, but certainly not least, Axion Kavanaugh. Axion Kavanaugh, and you see the half elf, stand a bit and nudge. Greetings, Magister. I appreciate your time in the class. How are you? How are you doing? You know I'm doing well, Axion. You can have a seat now. Is his class? You
I'll
can.
lean over to Gloom and just be like, pretentious douchebags.
I kind of giggle and I'm kind of scribble something at like on, and I pass like a paper to you, and it has like the most hideous like drawing of the face, like kind of like, and it has like encircled blah 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 blah.
I I like that. Do a sleight of hand check.
You're gonna have to bear with me. I have not figured how to roll in D&D Beyond yet.
You'll just roll on the number that's under your sleight of hand. You just click on it and it should automatically roll for you.
If I can get the dang character thing to come up. Great. Why is it always? Hello. Okay, and you said sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
The under. Oh my gosh. Abilities.
You should just be able to click on the skill and it will roll for you.
Yeah, I see it. Sleight of hand. Roll. Good grief. Oh no. Oh no. I got a 6. That's not good.
You can tell that the Magister was kind of looking at you as you drew this. You there? What are you doing? What are you drawing?
I try to hide it kind of hastily in the bag of everything that I have. Nothing. It was something from a different class. I'm sorry.
Let's see here.
Please don't see it. Please don't see it.
You feel a rustle that's unnatural in your bag as a spectral hand has your note and kind of is bringing it out towards the front of the class.
Darn it.
And Magister takes the note from the spectral hand, looks at it. All right. No, let's go on to class.
Does he do anything with the
no,
note?
he
Does
just basically
like,
sets it on it. He sets it on his lectern, chuckles a bit, and just kind of moves on. All right.
Oh, cool.
Okay, all right, everyone. We have to get started. We only have so much time today before you have to move on to some gobbledygook other class that I'm sure that you want to be at. Welcome to Ethereal Rituals. It is my job to teach you the benefit of searching the arcane mists, of piercing the veil of myth, magic, and the old ones. As soon as the word old ones is said, the Dragonborn and the half-elf just kind of chuckle. You hear from the two of them, both Axiom and Arthur, that word just kind of sets them off. The old ones are important to our history and to our world. They govern so much of who we are and what we can see and do. They are a big part of everything that works itself into magic. And if you do not understand them, if you cannot gain and divine who they are and what they do, you will not be successful as you could be in the magical world. At that point, he starts to, excuse me, and coughs. He's kind of like naturally a bit. All right. I want you to understand, and I want to know if you've ever had an experience with the old ones in some way or form, and just to give me a sense of where you are in your history, in your magic. So each of you do a religion check.
Dirty 20.
Nice. Okay.
Then again, you would hope that the cleric would know a thing or two about religion.
Are we all rolling religion? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
everyone is, and everyone will get an explanation here.
Where- there it is.
Is there actually I'm going
Dirty 21 for me.
oh
Nice.
mine's a I'm debating if I want to add my my D6
Your
to
D6?
this.
You can.
Yeah. How do I do that?
Just on the left-hand side, you'll see the dice icon. If you click on it, it'll show you a wide range of different dice you can roll, and you just pick the D6 from there and roll that.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll that because I wanna add some to that. Ooh, add a 4, so that would be
18.
my 14, 18.
Okay. So, we'll start with you, Gloomthorn, with the 18. In the past, with other gnomes, and before you were accepted to the school, there's talk amongst the gnomes about, how the old ones guided nature, rocks, trees, streams, everything, and even some that guided people and guided creatures. And the ones, there's a feeling of reverence to the ones that feel like that are working with nature, but there's also a sense of fear with how they what they have an influence on people and people's actions and some of the things done because of them. So there's a little bit of a trepidation when it comes to the discussions. They are talked about in your culture. It's just maybe in a more like non-skeptical, but like the unsure of how exactly they work out.
Gotcha.
So let's see. Let's keep moving up with Dennis. Everyone who you fought with and you fight with and you train with, basically they have a silent prayer that as they were teaching you and training you to kind of to lean back into the old ones to as part of the natural order of the world, but also the natural order of fighting and of saying spells. So they're basically the unseen hand guiding all of that and guiding your hand to any strike. And Elmar, you know because you've trained with sacred texts and with other clerics, that and have a strong belief of how there is a guiding hand in the world. In fact, you have pledged yourself to that. So you have faith that is more than sufficient to kind of display that. And basically you each are able to give this to the Magister, and the Magister accepts it. Okay. At that point, the Dragonborn Arthur stands up. Yeah, it's important to my folks. I think we don't talk about the old ones as much because there's some bad history there. I think so. It's not so important to us. After that, Axiom stands up, the half elf, kind of settles himself in an upright position, making sure he's standing up straight. The Kavanaugh family has a rich history of its belief and its respect for the old ones. It is the old ones who brought my ancestors to this land and founded Enferacuse, that brought all of us this prosperity. So of course, the old ones are tremendously important to everything that happens here and everything that we could do. Sits down, feeling very ruffled at that point. Anyone want to do anything with either of those two's response?
I'm gonna kind of. Oh, go ahead.
Elmar rolls his eyes at the half elf because the whole pretentious rich kid superiority complex.
I probably very hastily make a couple notes of like both their mannerisms. Like I kind of make a note that yeah, blah 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 blah, half elf like lineage, blah 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 blah. But then I draw like a question mark. I write down like bad blood question mark next to the Dragonborn's name that I have written down.
Okay.
Kind of keep a mental note on both of their reactions to this.
You can do that. As he sits down, Elmar, give me a perception check.
All right, just a moment. I'm going to use my chaos die on this.
Uh-oh.
A total of 16.
Elmar, you notice that the Magister rolls his eyes very similar to what you did.
In other words, he's not amused with their antics.
Somewhat, yes. The Magister goes on. Well, that I understand our history and the city's history too, just like you do, I'm sure. But Arthur, what if you're not very sure about the old ones? What brings you to ethereal rituals? What's here? You see Arthur shuffle in the seat a little bit. It's like, I have, it's required. I have to be here. I do want to learn. I want to learn about this. And he kind of looks back and forth to Axiom at this point, kind of like looking for help, but Axiom just kind of not giving anything. I just need to be here to succeed here at school. All right. Okay. Well, I guess we want to get you to succeed. That's what everyone's here for. So we will help you in that regard. Kind of brings us to the point of the day. And you see him from the he goes to the side table on the left-hand side of the front of the classroom, and you saw that there was like a chest of some sort there, not really locked, just there. And he goes to the chest. It looks a lot heavier than what you think based on how he was before, of how he's going to be able to lift that up, though. Let's see here if he's going to be successful or not. No, let's see. Let's do the strength check. Actually, no, he was able to pick it up. I did not think he was going to be able to. He was able to pick it up, and it looks like he's struggling with it immensely, and sets to bring it over to the podium.
Like is he like visibly like really struggling with this thing?
That's 100%. You saw how. Yep.
I'm gonna get up and actually go over and actually help. Like, I know I'm not gonna be strong, but I'm gonna try to help him like hold the box up so at least he gets over to the podium.
Okay. So you do see that he's very welcome to you coming over at that point, and like, okay, all right, thank you. Kind of hand on his head. All right, okay, okay, right, all right. Have a seat, thank you. He
go back to my seat.
He opens the chest in a way to kind of shooting it towards the front, so the podium's kind of helping angle it down. All right, today, to get you familiar with the arcane arts, we are going to do just a simple summoning. Just a simple summoning ritual. This incantation should just allow you to slightly pierce the veil and summon something with our ethereal energy, with something that has been touched by the old ones. It's a very simple task. It's meant to just give us a bit of a taste of the divine. If you do it right. If you don't do it right, other things can happen. But we will cross the roads when we get there. Okay. Each of you need to take one of these feathers and one of these newts, and you see there's newts just kind of like moving around in there. You need to take a feather and a newt and take it back to your station, and then I'll show you what to do. So each of you go up to go for a newt. Who wants to try to be first in line?
I'll go first. I'm ready.
Always
ready for action.
When you approach the chest, there are several feathers. The feathers generally all look like they're the same. There's a couple of they're all mostly like falcon style feathers, like it looks like birds of prey. There are a few feathers in there that look like they came off a pigeon though too. Like if they've been pulled out of a feather pillow maybe. When it comes to newts, there is a lot of red and blue ones and green ones all just kind of running around. They're mostly looking very active, like just like they're not really willing to be there, but that's where they are. Except for like a couple of spotted ones that are just not moving very much. They don't look like they're really healthy at all.
All right, I'm grabbing a falcon feather and I'm trying to grab one of those red newts too.
Can you give me an acrobatics check?
Acrobatics. Let's see here.
We're gonna go with that.
A 10. Oh my gosh! I was gonna say I have a +3 to acrobatics, but apparently it doesn't matter.
Okay, it takes you a couple of jabs in there with your hand, but you're able to get a wiggly red newt in your hand.
All right.
And who's next? Who wants to go next?
I'll probably be the next one up. I'm gonna go for a falcon feather because I see him pull out a falcon feather as well. So I'm gonna kind of mimic that, but I'm gonna see that there's a couple blue ones, and I'm going to go for a blue one, just same color as my my hair, which is like a dark, like you can tell that it's blue, but it's like a dark blue.
Okay.
So you said
acrobatics, please.
Acrobatics. Oh boy. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. That's a 4.
Can you give me a dex saving throw?
Dex saving throw. Okay. Oh gosh.
Hit by the newt.
It's me or the newt. Saves. You said dexterity.
Yep.
Oh, that's not. Oh well, shoot. I thought I hit the 11, but no. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not doing very well.
So you paw at you're aiming for a blue one, and you're able to kind of grasp it a bit by the tail. The one you have grasped is rather wiggly though. So as you're trying to pull it out, you see it basically slink itself around and bite your thumb. And so, if you would to take 1 point of bite, and that's it, 1 point of bite damage.
Oh no. Okay.
But you do have it. It did not go away. You still do have it.
So I took 1 damage. How do I do that? Oh, there it is.
So I'm watching and I'm just gonna laugh and slap him on the back and say, "Hi, Gloom. It looks like you've made a new friend."
I'm usually very good, as he says this. I go usually very good with animals. I don't know what's going on with me today. I screwed up a little bit in shifting class, and now I'm having a bad time with animals.
Hey, everyone has bad days. No worries. You got him. You got him. Even if he got a little piece of you too.
Yeah.
Elmar, you're up next.
I'm gonna look at the unhealthy ones and try to determine what's wrong with them. So a 21 on a medicine check.
You can tell that it seems like they are a bit poisonous, but not only that, but they are somewhat affected by some other level of poison that doesn't seem like it's their own.
Oh, so like they've been poisoned.
But it's both, actually. It's the fact that they are a bit poisonous, but also they seem like they are poisoned themselves.
So that's why they're not doing well.
That's what it appears to be.
Magister, I believe, and I will point to the poisonous ones. I think these are suffering from a bit of poison.
Huh.
And I'll grab a falcon feather, and you said there was like a red ones, blue ones, and what other color?
Green.
I'll try for one of the green ones.
Okay. For a green one. Can you give me acrobatics check?
A 3.
Dex saving throw?
10.
Okay, so you are going for a green one, and as you have basically been able to kind of jab at one and get it, it wiggles out of your fingers. Instead of being able to get it, it basically scurries halfway up your arm and jumps free to the floor.
Okay. I'm gonna try to convince it to cooperate with me.
Okay.
A 15 on animal handling.
I guess I am going to hold on a moment. Let's. Wisdom. So you're able to get close, and it basically is looking at you, paying attention. It's not coming towards you, but basically is going to like mirror you, like it thinks you're playing a game with it.
Okay, well, I will pull out a ration and put in my hand and extend my hand out to the newt.
It will it's hungry. It will come sit on your hand.
Then I will very gently close my hand around it.
All right.
Even though our time together is short, I shall call you Gingrich.
You see that behind you is Arthur, but Axiom didn't stand up and didn't come up to the group. Arthur reaches a hand in, grabs a couple feathers, and then grabs at Newt's. You see him having a lot of trouble. Arthur basically is rummaging around in there. Yeah, over here, you're coming with me, and basically grabs what seems to be like eventually like able to take like a handful of 3 of them, and grab them and bring him back. He basically brings it back to Axiom at the table, hands Axiom a newt and a feather.
Can I make a mental note? What feather did he? Do I know do I see the color and the type of feathers that he grabbed?
Give me a perception check.
Okay, let's see if this goes better than the other one because I wanna see what he's doing. Set perception. Really? I am not doing that well with rolls today.
You know that he got feathers, and you know there were probably about 3, and you saw a little bits of like red and green at least darting in and around his hand. That's about all you have.
Like I got a +5 on my perception, and I'm like, oh, I guess it doesn't matter.
It's a 7. It's a 7.
It's a
So,
7, it's something.
Yeah. So you could definitely tell that he had
Low
he had
dice
feathers
rolls
in there.
happen.
Yep.
The dice are not being happy.
No, definitely not with this one. So the
Uh,
Magister. Oh, go ahead.
does anybody speak Celestial by chance?
I do not speak gnome. It looks like gnome, draconic, and I think elvish. That's what I took.
Yeah, no celestial for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot.
Well, Elmar says something to himself in Celestial, and for the DM, he's basically saying, I bet the pious or the uppity half elf is forcing him to forcing Arthur to be in this class.
You see the half elf glare really heavily at you.
I look at him like I'm not even remotely intimidated or give a shit about his response.
He says filth and celestial.
You know,
Calm it down
really?
over there. Calm. I don't even know what you said.
You shouldn't say such things about your mother.
Are you saying this? Are
you saying in celestial or in common?
you saying this is common or celestial?
I'm saying it in common to him. And then
Wait. Hold. No. You know the rules here. Again, rules are very simple here. You have to have magic, and there is no aggression towards each other. We do not. We are civil. We are magicians, sorcerers supreme here.
I'm going to, as he says that, I'm going to druidcraft a flower on Arthur's desk. Like an ornate little like wooden like a flower made of wood, but it's very intentionally for him. Because it kind of seems like he's kind of getting the short end of the stick here, and I'm kind of I feel for him a little bit.
There's he looks down at it, and is just like, just kind of like miffed, turns away, doesn't just kinds of starts to go and look forward. And for those of you keeping track of the chat, Kurgain, I like that you made your Rick Astley reference there. Thank you. The Magister doesn't exactly sound like him. Kind of close there. DM Rickroll, we love to see it. So, all right, well, we have that nasty business out of the way. Let me show you. And you see the Magister reaching there. The Magister comes away with a newt rather quickly. He grabs a feather, and I'm going to show you the way that this should be done. Now, and just to give you a good sense of how you should be doing this. So the Magister takes his feather, and you see him slide it up the back of the newt, and kind of like showing it off. Not much like, it's not like he would be doing it in a practical way. He's doing it in a way he shows the class, basically. So he's basically running it along the edge of each arm and leg and off of the tail, and says a incantation word. And he says he has it laid out on your desks, so you can see the word. He says the word, and in a small puff of smoke, you see that the The newt hasn't changed. The newt is right there the way it should be. The feather has changed though. The feather at that point it has grown, probably double in size, and looks like it's definitely from a different animal. Oh, all right, okay. This is a great example here. This is a phoenix feather now. And you see, it does look kind of like glowing and a little bit more of the orange in the flowing, kind of a flame factor of it. See, this is the type of result you want. You want something that has been touched by the gods, by the old ones. This is what the result should be. So, if you were paying attention, and you each have a newt and you have a feather to try this out. Make sure you take good precautions. You know what you should be doing. And let's see what you get. Go ahead.
I have a quick question. So the feather changed to a feather that is literally on fire, and it looks like obviously from a different creature.
It looks that feather has changed to something that looks more like a phoenix feather.
Okay.
And you believe him because it looks orangey and flowy, like it has and that flame kissed kind of movement that it has that wouldn't have had with the strictness of a bird of prey feather.
So I didn't know if I was gonna need an animal handling roll or a nature roll to try to figure out what kind of feather it was. But it's pretty obvious.
It is very obvious. It looks like what he says it does.
Okay.
So each of you and everyone in class gets to attempt this. So I want everyone to roll me a flat d20.
Ooh, that's a 2 for me.
Nat 20.
That's a nat 20 for me too.
I guess I'm the only one not doing so well in class today.
I was about to say at least you got your newt without
All right.
bad.
I was rolling, so we got a 2, a 20, and a 20. And
Yep.
Okay. So Elmar, Gloomthorn, you're gonna start to hear like a hum come from your feather, but it's not really it's there, but we're gonna come back to it. It's kind of like of a building theme. Let's see, who are we gonna start with here? Let me pull up my little handy dandy thing here I had for this. Of course it's that one. So we're gonna start with Axion. Axions seem strange because as soon as Axiom does his feather and everything, he kind of just rushes through it. So he's kind of done ahead of all of you because it doesn't look like he was really doing a heck of what he should have been doing. Almost instantaneously, the nothing changes to the feather. The newt begins replicating. And by the end, you can tell his desk is covered in what I would say appears to be about 50 newts.
Oops.
What is this? This can't be right. What? This newt is faulty. He sets the newt he had down in the pile of newts that he clearly has now, and they're all different colors. It's all a bunch of just basically a grab bag of newts. All right, going on to Danis. Danis, the feather that you're holding, because you grabbed a longer feather. After you do the tracing and everything on the newt, you feel your feather get really heavy on your hand for a minute there, and once you take a look down, you can see that your feather has been encircled. There's 3. On the feather, random donuts that just appeared on your feather, the feather is going up the circle in the middle of the donuts.
Like pastries?
Yes, pastries. And there's not glowing. It's just stuff. It's just like you have a set of donuts now.
I'm gonna smell one of those donuts. I'm thinking about taking a bite.
They smell like a donut.
smells like a donut. I'm going for it. I'll take.
It
I'll
looks
just
like a
maybe
donut.
take a little.
Oh,
maybe
gosh.
take a
Oh,
little
gosh.
nibble as a test.
They
I'm
taste like
curious about what's going on. And
they taste like a donut. They taste like something you have seen. They look like donuts you have seen in the city. So they
so I'm just
it
gonna
tastes
assume I
good.
did the experiment. I'm just gonna assume I did the ritual perfectly, and that the donuts were what I wanted in the first place.
Yeah, young man, I think you need to work a bit more on this. You have the nature of the positive nature of it. You just don't have the magic, like the magical nature of it.
good, magistrate. Move.
Well, that's a good
Really?
sign. If they were terrible donuts, that means you really did it wrong. So it's good. Good. We're making progress. Now the Dragonborn, he's basically sitting there staring at he did the full ritual, and the flower, the feather he was holding has changed completely into a rose, but not just a regular rose. It's a crystal rose. It is basically what looks to be like a crystalline sculpture of a rose, but you can tell it's the petals move. It's a real flower, and he's just sitting there staring at it, like, what is this? I have a flower. The magister kind of hobbles over to him. You made that? Yeah. Did I do it right? Is this right? Yes, that is a crystal rose. It is gifted by the gods and only grown in the wastes and caves in very dangerous places. You did excellent. That's full marks. All right. You have another newt there. We should see how you can do this again. So then the magister then walks over to Elmar and Gloomthorn. Anything for you two? You two hear this humming from your feather.
The feather's humming, Magister.
Yeah, is this right?
Humming. It's odd. Okay. Well, everyone, you still have your newt, or over there. Actually, you have several newts. Pick whichever one you want. And he's laughing because the newts are kind of now going everywhere around Axiom's desk and stuff. Well, I think I think we could do this one more time. Let's try one more time. Each of you, go one more round. You have plenty of supply. And he goes back up to the podium. Each of you roll another flat d20. For those of you who had the natural 20 before, roll with advantage.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a 6 for me. We'll see double-digit roll one of these days, maybe.
I got
I didn't.
13.
The dice really don't like me today. I got a 1 and a 2.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my jeez. Oh no.
All the good things about getting advantage on that one. You moved
Yeah.
up 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna start with actually I need to roll those other two just to roll theirs real quick. But we're gonna start with Danis. So Danis, you completed the ritual to what you had seen, kind of with what your peers were doing, and you now also you see that your feather has transmogrified into a crystal rose, much like you saw that Oscar the Dragonborn or Arthur the Dragonborn had. Everyone also has. Oh, did everybody have give advantage? Oh, everyone has a give advantage. So if you want to re-roll, everyone got their a give advantage. So since I haven't, I will allow you to do an advantage roll on top of what you just did. And I got disadvantage, which on my next roll I have disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm keeping my 6
Hey,
because I just rolled a 5.
I already rolled mine with advantage. I rolled 2d20, and I took the better of the two results instead of them being added together.
Okay.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna take the new one.
all right. So give me the new numbers each of you have.
I have 17.
Oh, of course. I think he's popping out. So you have 17. Who else has what? Just to make sure, help me keep track.
I had
Dan
a
is still
13
looking strong at a
still.
6.
All right. There's multiple talking there. One more time. Elmar,
I
what do you
got a
have?
13 still.
You have a 13 still. Okay. And Dan, is it Danis who didn't get the 17 or
Danis is still sitting strong at a 6.
a 6? Hold on. Of course, my headset moves
Just
a little
for
bit
fun, if
when
I had rolled it
we're doing
separately.
all this. Well, busted headset's gonna be it today. We'll fix it at the break. Let's see here. So with that, let's see here. We're gonna say with the 6, you still get the crystal. You get the crystal rose like you had gotten before. So that you kind of ponder that you now have the same thing the Dragonborn did. Let's see. Go to over by the Dragonborn. You can see that the Dragonborn doesn't have a flower in hand anymore, but the Dragonborn is basically the face and front of him is covered in grease. So whatever he was doing, whatever he was rolling at, just definitely it does not seem to be magical as much as it seems to be inconvenient and sticky and or slippery at this point. Slippery, not sticky.
Uh-oh.
So there's that. And then let's see, 17, right? Who got the 17?
Gloomthorn, yes. Gloomthorn did.
Gloomthorn. You see that your feather has disappeared, but not sure exactly where it went. You hear a thud on the table in front of you, followed by another thud, and several thuds. When you look down, you see that there is like a bushel of apples now sitting on your table.
I kind of gingerly pick one up and I kind of smell it.
Smells like an
Ugh.
apple.
And I'm actually gonna take an apple and I'm going to give one each to my two other friends.
You each
I'm
now
gonna
have
take that apple
you
and-
each now have an apple, and there's a table covered in them.
I'll take that apple and
yeah,
take a big old bite.
I'm gonna take a bite out of it.
So who's taking a bite out of the apples? Oh, no, come back.
I'll be like, hey, you want one of these donuts?
I'm just like, yes, please.
All right. So everybody,
Elmar puts the apple on his desk.
okay. So not everybody. We have let's see. We have Drennis, you're taking a bite, and Gloomthorn, you're taking a bite.
Yes.
Okay. You the only thing that happens is which one of you was bitten by the newt?
That was me.
You feel
Gloomthorn
that
did.
you feel like that 1 point of damage has now gone.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
that seems those are extremely healthy and vigorous apples. This comes from your Magister. Very very good. Let's see. Who am I?
Instead of a good berry, it's a good apple.
And Elmar, what is your number again?
13.
13. Okay, so Elmar, in front of you appears your feather basically has felt like super heavy, and as it comes down towards your table, changes to a box. It looks like it's a sealed container. It looks like it was a crate. This probably about a foot and a few inches high by the same square, like it's a cube kind of box.
I will look in the box.
You find 6 bottles of wine.
Oh,
The magister comes up. What'd you get there?
6 bottles of wine.
Oh, well, I better make sure that these are safe, not touched by the gods. And you see him reach in to take the wine. We'll take good care and make sure that I think this was a great summoning. This is a great thing to get back to us. So, very good, very good. Then, let's see. The last, this can't be right. Hold on, no, I didn't roll Axiom yet, so I was gonna say he's not getting the same thing. Axiom has now come up with well, Axiom now has a crystal rose, much like the others had crystal roses now as well. So you see him kind of marveling after it. Those of you who had feathers before that were humming, now still hear from your objects a louder hum.
so I'm hearing humming from apples, and he's hearing humming from a box of wine.
Yes. It seems to be growing in terms of the what you can hear and the loudness you can hear.
But only we hear it.
I don't know. You know that you can hear it.
Would I hear it from this apple that I just took a bite out of?
You would not have hear it, but give me a perception check.
All right. Perception. That's a 15.
You can feel that the apple that you have taken a bite of is kind of vibrating.
All right.
It's kind of you can feel it in your hand, just like pulsing with power of some sort.
We'll just kind of look at it and take another bite and be like, "This is a weird apple."
So I kind of look at Elmar and I'm forgetting names again.
Danis.
Looking at both of them, and I kind of see Elmar having the same kind of look on my face that I'm kind of like looking at my apple, like, and I see you kind of like eating more of the apple, kind of being like, "This is a weird apple," and I'm like, "So you two can hear it too?"
I don't.
You can kind of hear a random beat now with the humming that you wouldn't have heard before. It's starting to fill now each of your ears. The magister kind of starts to look around a bit. Said, is one of you making some sort of racket?
No.
Magister, I think it's coming from me and Gloomthorn. The humming we initially heard is getting stronger and louder.
And they're coming from the items we just got. Like, I'm getting them from the apples.
the beat is starting to get a little louder. Like it's not drowning out what you're trying to say, but it's getting close.
So we're probably yelling this at this point a
Yep.
little bit.
It's getting loud and crescendoing. You see that both the half elf and the dragonborn are hearing it, but also a little bit more looking a little more wary. Suddenly, everything goes silent. And when I say everything goes silent, everything goes silent. You cannot hear anything at this point. The movement of your body, the things in your hands or in your bags, the flicker of the candlelight. You can't hear anything at this point.
Oh, did I just log into Google Chrome again?
I don't have. There is a tech.
Perfectly timed.
There is a tech person somewhere who just felt a shiver go down their spine outside of the universe. But everything is silent. Suddenly, not from the apples or not from the box, but there is a sound coming from the roses. Who has disturbed the natural order of these fine flowers? Who dare remove them from their sacred locations? The Magister is looking around.
So literally the entire, like, everybody's hearing this.
Everyone's hearing it. You're hearing absolutely nothing else. These.
I'm trying to recall. Yeah, I'm trying to recall who had the roses.
So
I had one. Danis had one. Arthur and Axion both had one.
Yes.
We're the only two that didn't.
So the noise you can tell is coming from each of the roses. I can hear somebody in the background. I don't know if anybody has somebody in the background, but I can definitely hear him. Just as an FYI.
Phone going off.
You hear the Magister a little bit. It's very muted. Hello? We've just summoned these to our location. I know you have summoned these roses. Sacred roses. I have tended for generations. The world needs these to be where they were, and you have upset it. Mortals meddling with things again. At this point, you see the roses are glowing a bit around the people and who are holding them.
I go to touch the one that oh my gosh, this is gonna be the nightmare of me.
Danis. It's like
Danis is holding. I'm gonna like hold on to it as well. Like, is it like a glow that's like enveloping them, like the people that are holding them?
No, it is just enveloping the object.
I'm going to like reach out and like kind of hold the rose, but also like hold Danis's hand like with the rose kind of like. I'm trying to describe this. I'm just trying to touch the rose.
You do. It is large enough, and it is fine. You feel it much like you felt apples and things. It's pulsing. It's vibrating. I must now take the time to return these to the natural order. Would you mortals please just leave the good world alone, making it harder for all of us to do what we need to do, and it is hard enough to begin with. Elmar, can you before we get far, Elmar, can you do a check? You can make a choice. Would you like to do a religion or a history check?
I was just about to tell you I rolled a 16 on a religion check.
Perfect. So Elmar, you know that there is, of the old ones, that there is a of the balance of deities out there, there is a god that is known as the Forest Father, who who tends plants, who tends different not creatures but mostly plant life throughout the world and throughout the lives and the history of each race and species on the land. You don't remember their name right now, though.
He will speak up and say, Forest Father, I would like to apologize on my classmates' behalf. We had no intention of disrupting the balance and summoning these flowers. We are trying to learn things about the old gods, and this was an unfortunate mistake.
Finally, someone with a level of reverence that's appropriate. I understand that you use powers that you do not fully understand. The Magister at this point kind of pipes up, well, we understand. No, you do not understand everything that you do. You do not understand all the different things going on in the world, especially now. So, take care in what you trifle with. Today it is a rose, another day it will be something else. Sylvanus hath spoken, so it will be done. At that, the roses flash, disappear. Sound resumes in the space. You can start to hear like the natural, whoosh of airflow and candles and everything. Like the presence has left. Wait. This is what we've been waiting for. We've waited years for one of the old ones. We've waited years for them to press their divine presence with us. Can any of you still feel it?
I don't really feel anything, but this class is way neater than I thought it would be. I'll say as I take a bite of my donut.
Albeit more dangerous. It may be cool, but that could have gone seriously wrong if Elmar hadn't have piped up. Because he did not sound happy that we were messing with his garden. Are the roses actually still there? They're just the glow's gone.
No, they have left
They
the
went.
scene with the flash.
Disappeared.
Did the apples or the case of wine or whatever do the same thing?
No, the apples, the wine, the newts, all of them are still there. The donuts, them too. Yeah. It's
As a
you.
matter of fact, the person that piped up was the only person student that didn't have one of those roses.
Who wasn't at least touching one? Yeah. Let's see. Dennis, give me a perception check.
Perception. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna add my die to that.
Uh-oh.
That's an 11 even with my chaos die.
Okay. You look down to where you were holding the rose in your hand, and clearly there's no rose there any longer. But uniquely, your fingertips and your fingers and where you were holding it is now covered with what appears to be a fine pink dust of some sort.
All right. I'll kind of rub it between my fingers and be like, Magister, any idea what this is?
You see the Magister is frantically looking into the box where the newts were and where the feathers were, looking a little more harried than he had up until this point. A little more energetic, in fact, than he had seemed up to this point. God, we have to get him back. We have to get him back here. There's so much we can know. There's so much we can learn. We have to get him back.
So, do I see the powder on Dennis's hand?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, yeah, that would be helpful before I roll a religion check.
Yeah.
Well, I see it.
You do not see it on Danis's hands because based on where you are, but you do see it on Arthur and Axiom's hands.
Oh, that's a 19.
And Gloomthorn, you do
for me.
You note that there is the pink on the hand, and because you were going to touch it, before it had disappeared as well. You realize that when there was the flash, you were able to keep your eyes kind of adjusted well enough to see that the outline of where that flash is where the pink dust appeared, and some of it was in the air as well when that flash had taken place.
I'm going to take like I always keep a spare vial in my bag.
By the way, I rolled a nat 20 on that perception check. That's why I said, oh yeah, I definitely see it.
And you do, but based on where you said you were located in the seating, I think you actually see it more so on Arthur and Axiom's hands.
Oh yeah, because backs are turned.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a vial and I'm going to kind of gingerly try to scrape some of the dust into a vial, and I'm gonna cork it and put it in my bag.
Okay, you can do that.
Okay. A dirty 20 on a religion check to try to understand the significance of this pink powder.
Looking at the pink powder, you don't recognize anything in the history that signifies something of that nature, though. You do know that when different deities are acting on that plane and not outside of their own, really entering outside of their own plane, there has to be some ways that they can interact with the world that way.
And it usually leaves some sort of residue.
Some sort of trace of some sort. So you can easily see that that is how that is how Sylvanas was acting. It was using that as part of its way to function in the space right then.
That pink dust was actually how he was interacting with us. when they interact with us in different ways than normal, there's always some sort of residue left behind.
The Magister hears you and he says, he looks up from looking inside the box and says, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's we'll do this. Oh, we can do this. All right. So Arthur, come here, Arthur. And he waves to the Dragonborn to come up. And the Dragonborn, who's still looking kind of like where the rose had went and everything, does make his way up. Arthur still has the pink powder on his fingers. The Magister, let me see. He takes his hand and just sprinkles takes a feather from the chest he still has, takes the feather and just rubs it all over the pink stuff on his hands. This will work. This will be great. Okay. You sit down. And Arthur goes back to his seat. Okay, I've got the feather. I just need a newt. And he reaches into the box and grabs a newt. Yes.
Magister,
Sir?
I don't think that would be a wise idea to not adhere to the word of one of the old ones.
Well, that's nonsense. I will not disturb any more plant life. All I am trying to do is convene with the old ones. We have tried so long and so many different ways to convene with them. This is a momentous day, you have to understand. I've been waiting for how long I've been teaching this class with nobody wanting to be here and nothing happens. This is just we can't let the day end here. And he begins to take the feather covered in the pink powder, and he has pulled a newt from the chest and begins to trace the spell.
Also, while he is doing this, I'm trying to get like the pink dust off of Dennis's hands. Like seeing the magistrate do this, I'm trying to get it off his hands and whatnot.
I believe that has been put into a vial now, if I'm correct, right, Dennis?
Yes,
Yes. So it's in a vial. It is off the hands. We have done that. There is one other outlying pink dust in the room. But otherwise, this is his feather. So this feather, is being traced.
I was going, Mr. Roboto.
Domo arigato. The Magister traces this on the newt. Everyone, give me a perception check.
I don't like what this guy's doing.
A 7 for me.
I see the professor doing something that's a bad idea.
You do.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm gonna say
Dang. My thing's deciding that it wants to have a hiccup. Hold on.
Isn't that
There we
always
go.
helpful? I was having a similar issue at some point here.
Oh, that's gonna be a 21, not natural.
Perfectly fine. Gloomthorn, he is right at the end of tracing the spell. You notice that the newt he's holding is spotted and yellow.
I immediately turn to them. I go, he's got one of the spotted ones. I think we should stop this.
I make my way forward and grab the newt.
You give me a dexterity check.
All I said he had a spotted one, but I guess Elmar knows something that we don't.
Yeah, he knows they're poisonous.
I'm rolling at disadvantage. The disadvantage die finally caught back around.
Oh no!
It's okay. So, what did you roll?
I rolled a 6.
You still you were able to pull the newt from the Magister. But the Magister at that point still had the feather, and it was basically at that point dragging it from the tail as you grab the newt, therefore completing the spell.
Completed.
Now, this Magister is rather small, rather short, and he's holding up the feather, and basically everyone can see. You now have a poisonous newt in your hand. We'll get to that.
That's also been poisoned.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. So he's kind of waving it around like, Forest Lord, Forest Lord, hello. There is some humming coming from the feather.
Oh no.
Magister, you just did the ritual with one of the poisonous newts.
Well, it's a newt. It should be fine. At that point,
it was also a newt that was poisoned.
The feather in his hand is not just vibrating or with power. It is currently moving. You can see it is moving his hand around him. And he's basically trying to hold it in place, but it's not going very well. You can see it basically, he decides to move it onto the altar behind him. It's the largest circular ritual altar in the classroom. And even though you haven't been using it this entire time, you know it's there. It's a little bit of a raised platform, bluish with the celestial bodies kind of artistically drawn into the ritual space. The flower, the feather he basically lands it near the middle.
Is the box of newts still like open?
There's basically over on that left-hand side, there's about 50 newts rolling around in between 4 or 5 chairs and desks at this point, because they've been out for a while, just kind of going wherever. You see the feather moving across the floor a bit. And the feather just kind of like moves in ways that seem like they're moving in a spiral. It starts to kind of move around and around. As it does so, the feather begins to change. The feather grows and grows, still moving in the spiraling pattern, and grows and grows into kind of like that. The shape of itself is just growing a bit more and more. You can see the spiral is solidifying somehow, and like almost like the feather's extending and moving around itself. Eventually, creating in front of you a large circular shell. And the shell grows and is basically as tall as any of you at this point. And the shell kind of just, you can see the feather function stop at the start of opening of the shell. And some little yellow tendrils kind of sticking out of it. And that's where we're going to stop to take a break. we are going to take a break on that note and come back to everything in a minute. Probably about 10 minutes, I'd say, is what we'll take as a break. So for those of you who've been watching, thank you. We will be right back and be able to talk to you soon. Okay, we need to make some adjustments in our cameraing right now. If you'll bear with us for a moment. Well, actually, I don't know if I can. Hold on, I'll have to see if it allows me to do so because I can tell that our camera angling has all just kind of discombobulated a bit here, showing everyone along the way. Let's see here if I make a
Yeah, we'll
quick.
try to make things bearable.
We will try to fix this easily enough. We can do some things here to get us into the right place. We just move it on down here. And hey, it's kind of working. And there we go. We're back and adjusted. Let's hurrah for that right now.
Hooray!
Hooray.
Woo!
And if anything else goes wrong on Discord, we're just gonna roll with it, okay?
Boo! Oh wait, that's the wrong thing.
Yeah, don't boo. Yeah. So where we last left off, a giant circular shell and yellow kind of creature, a little bit kind of poking out of it, has landed at the center of the ritual circle behind the Magister. And so you all see this. You and both Axiom and Arthur see it.
So what is there right when that happens? I'm gonna look right at Arthur and Axiom to kind of gauge, like, are they horrified? Are they about to run? Like, what do they look like they're about to do?
Which one do you want to start with?
I'm gonna look at Arthur, the Dragonborn, because he's out of the two of them. I kind of feel for Arthur a little bit right now. Axiom kind of, I could take it or leave it with him, but I'm looking at Arthur.
Arthur is looking at that thing like they want no part of that. Whatever that is, they have no reason to want to go and have fun with it.
And now I'm gonna look at my friends and kind of gauge, like, what are we doing? Are we doing this, or what are we doing?
You see the Magister look back, because the Magister is the closest to this at this point. It's like, Forest Lord, is that you? Is this your farm? Welcome. You are most graciously welcome here. You hear a noise come from the shell.
Oh, that is not a good noise.
Excuse me. Let me roll with what we have going on, because it's about time to roll that with the with your Magister. Let's see. Saving throw.
Oh no.
That's the wrong one. It's the wrong one. Yeah, that's the right one. The Magister starts coughing a lot at this point. I'm looking like very fatigued. Kind of holding themselves up on the lectern.
How big is this? How big are these tendrils that are coming out of the shell?
Yeah.
They're not sticking out very far. So you see, like, little. They look like basically yellow, gel, like with like little spiky like 3 little spiky tendrils coming off of them. Much like you would see if I were to say anything, like the end of a mace.
Ooh. I kind of look at Elmar and I kind of nudge him. Do you want to go check the Magister? I don't think he's doing very good.
Elmar, do you have a response?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
You're fine. I'm kind of nudging the the bright guy in the room, like you might want to go check the Magister. Like he doesn't look so hot.
As I was saying, but you didn't hear. When you go to nudge him, you notice that it looks like he was already planning on going to check on the Magister.
Okay, you can do that.
All right.
The shell and the creature in the middle of the circle, other than like you see like a little bit of tendrils move and some of that sound, it's not really going anywhere.
All right. I'm gonna nudge Janice and kind of like I'm gonna walk up to the Magister and I'm gonna stand like in between Elmar and the Magister and this thing because I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all.
I'm gonna look the the Magister over with a medicine check after casting a spell on myself. Because thank God I did that spell, which was guidance, by the way.
Okay.
Yay, guidance!
Yay, guidance!
Oh! I've seen some times that guidance has come in clutch, and it's a good spell to have.
12.
You see, now that you're closer to the Magister.
And you're maidenless, so you don't get any grace.
Since you're close to the Magister and you can kind of like got a little bit, you can see that now you can see spots on the Magister's arm.
Is it spots that are semblance of poison or some sort of disease?
For your 12, they look a lot like the spots that were on the newt.
Oh, I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on him.
Okay, you can do that. The Magister, you see the spots, like kind of like seem like they kind of move back into his skin and like regular color resumes. Oh, wow! Oh gosh! Oh, that's much better. Oh, didn't realize that that was hurting as bad as it was. Thank you, young lad.
Yeah,
You don't-
apparently whatever poison was affecting the newts, as a matter of fact, he still has the one in his hand, was also affecting you.
Huh. Interesting. Well, we'll have to come back to that sometime. But
Well, actually, when Elmar says that, I'm gonna look at the newt, and I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals on myself.
which newt are you doing this with?
I'm doing this with the spotted newt that Elmar has in his hand.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So explain, like, this is where again I am a new DM, so I haven't read through this. What does speak animal allow you to do?
So Speak with Animals allows me to, if the animal, if I can speak in like common tongue, and the animal will be able to understand me if it can understand the language.
Is it a target animal or any animals in the vicinity?
Let me look at this again. Hold on. Bear
He
with
casts
me.
it on himself, and it would be any animal, I guess, that can hear him would be able to perceive him for the 10-minute duration of the spell.
If I remember correctly, but let me see how it's actually worded. Hold on. Hold for just a second. Speak with animals.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's to gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration, which is 10 minutes. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give an information of nearby locations and monsters, including, like, basically they can talk to me for the 10-minute duration,
Okay.
and I can understand them.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask him, did you know that you are did Elmar say that they were being poisoned? Just checking if Elmar said that.
They have been poisoned.
Okay. Did you, my little friend, did you know that you're poisoned and are you hurting? Are you okay? Do you know who did this to you?
You hear basically at this point just like a very like somewhat like what a newt would sound like if it's in pain, because the newt being poisoned is very much like in pain.
Okay. And it's also any animal in the vicinity. So I kind of look at a couple of the healthy ones, and I kind of go, "Oi, like, do you know what happened to this guy?"
They which color do you ask?
I'm going to ask the. Oh gosh, I knew you were going to ask me that. I'm going to ask the. I'm going to ask the green one. One of the green ones.
The green ones look over in the direction of Axiom and Arthur. And just kind of
Kind of like look at them kind of thing.
yeah, just kind of like and like nudge, like indicate something to do with them, those two.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at one of the blue ones, and I'm gonna be like, same question, real quick. Same gesture.
No, actually, they're like a I don't know.
Okay.
All
right.
Well, as you're listening to this blue one, you hear also, where am I?
And I hear this in what direction?
Past the Magister.
Said past the
Creature
Magister?
that was summoned.
What am I doing here?
And I kind of like turn around, like you kind of see, if anybody's really like looking at Gloomthorn, his face is literally going like his face just kind of went from like being like a good tan color that his skin is to literally like ghost white, and slowly turns to the thing in the middle of the ritual platform. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello. And you see in front of you where there was just those little like kind of flailing tendrils come out. You see what appears to be 5 of them, actually, because there was 2 that you couldn't see coming out, and what appears to be coming out, it looks a lot like a slug or a snail, kind of, and just kind of like pokes its head out and kind of looks in your direction. Hello? What?
Do we all hear this, or is
No,
it just,
you hear, you all, both Danis and Elmar, you hear.
And you hear. I would
Language isn't
expect
speaking in.
you. I'm speaking in common, so like you're all hearing what I'm saying, but like I seem to be having a conversation with this thing.
No,
To everybody.
I'm just wondering what language is the creature speaking in, because I also speak in Abyssal and Infernal.
It is not speaking in either of those. I do know what
And
language it
definitely
is,
not
but none
Celestial.
of you speak it as far as I know.
Oh no, that's not good.
Probably primordial.
Do you, I kind of shoot a like I kind of like I see that I'm having a conversation with this thing, and I kind of look at it, and then I look at kind of back at Arthur and Axiom, kind of shoot him a dirty look. Like kind of like I know what you did kind of look, just to gauge the reaction real quick.
Arthur is like, I didn't bring that thing here. I didn't bring that thing here. You ugly, terrible thing.
When were you going to tell the magistrate the magister or magistrate?
Magister.
Magister, that you poisoned his newts, or at least a few of them.
The Dragonborn kind of steps in. Whoa! That's a bold accusation, and you have no bearing on whatsoever. How do you even know he was poisoned?
Well, you just told me, and they told me.
The Magister's like, well, I can tell that definitely felt like I was poisoned there for a minute. So at least there's that. That's a grave accusation there, young one. Yeah. But were you talking to this?
Also,
Yes, I was. Well, go ahead,
when we
Elmar.
were picking our newts, I earlier in class, I distinctly pointed out to the magister that 2 of the newts have been poisoned. Because I, as a cleric who's skilled in medicine, know the signs
So you
of
did.
poisoning.
He went in there fishing around for newts for a while, you know. He definitely just stuck his hands in there, didn't care where they are, and came out with a poisoned arm. That's what it appears. Seems like that very easily could be that. So you should make a lot of choices about the accusations you make and who you make them at. At that, you see Axiom get up and say, "This is ridiculous. You do not have any bearing to say that we did anything whatsoever. But
I have the saying of about 50 different newts that would probably corroborate my story. But as of right now, I will deal with you two. We will deal with this later.
As soon as that you say newts, they laugh really, really loudly at you.
At that point, I know that they're probably going to do that, and I'm going to give them again another dirty look, and I'm going to turn around and completely ignore them and look at the slug thing.
You know, it has been said it is unwise to get on the bad side of a druid, especially by poisoning animals.
As he says that, the flower are they even near the desks?
There is, yes,
No.
they are on the desks on their side that they were at before. One of them still has a fair amount of newts on it.
I say to the newts, if you would like to bite some, like I say this, oh my gosh, I'm trying to say this without them knowing, but I think at this point Gloomthorn doesn't care. If you would
You
like
could say
to,
it in Gnomish, they would understand.
probably, I will say in Gnomish that if you would to the newts, if you would like to bite somebody, you may bite them, and the flower that I druidcraft is going to. I want to have it like not. I don't know if I can do this with druidcraft, but I would like it to burst into flame, and like ash in front of them.
I think you can destroy it, but I don't know if it would be that specific.
Well, no, I want to like destroy it, but like in like a way where it like it's like visible, like it's a big thing. But I don't know exactly how that would actually look. But I don't know if the newts understood.
I want you to repeat the statement you said. Just give me the statement you said.
If you have any creatures in this room to be mad at and or attack, the Dragonborn and the elf are your targets. Is pretty much the gist of what I was going to say.
You hear, did they bring me here? That's not all right.
Excellent.
One of
Oh, wait.
only you hear that, Gloom.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's why I stopped myself.
You only the only one who hears that. You all see that the newly summoned creature moves closer to the left-hand side of the room, and one of the tendril maces basically bats the table out of the way like it's a toothpick.
Man, I kind of turn to the slug, or slug. We're pretty much calling this thing a slug, correct?
See, you are, and there's a very simple thing you can do about this, but I didn't want to lead you all in that direction.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was I turn to it and I go, I'm sorry. That was a misunderstanding. That is something else that need to be tabled. They did not bring you here. First of all, what is your? Do you have a name? Do you have a name?
Yes, it's.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to say that again. Oh, go. Okay. I'm gonna say the name, but I'm probably gonna. I can't make the same sound. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. We accidentally may have used some sort of magic that we did not understand, and we accidentally brought you here. We would like to send you back to wherever you came from. If you would be able to help us with that, or know somebody you can get in contact with that would be able to help you, would be great. Because we made a mistake and we didn't mean to bring you here. We are so sorry. And I say this like all in common. Like I'm literally like I'm trying to be like I'm bowing. I'm trying to be like I'm so like we're very sorry that we did this for the inconvenience and whatnot. Do you know a way for us to get you back home?
I don't even know how I got here. I was in a field of roses and just being, minding my own business.
What kind of roses? Is
Ye-
my thought.
You would not have heard that, but Gloom would have heard that.
Well, that's why.
I
That's
know
why I
at this
said it's my thought as in player.
at that point, right when he says roses, I turn to oh my gosh, what I'm trying to formulate my conversation with the being, and then I'm also trying to remember who the heck I'm trying to speak to. Elmar and
Danis.
Danis. I look at both of them and I go, "What kind of roses were those again?" And I'm speaking still to the being. But then I kind of look at them like waiting for a response.
When the thing lashed out and knocked the desk over, I would have leapt out of my seat and grabbed my fencing gear, and I'm still back where I was initially. I haven't moved forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
you're
just
still
kind
on
of
you're still on the opposite side of the room of the table, like the other side of the room. Like he moved the one on, he smashed the one on the left. You're on the right side.
right. I would have still jumped out of my seat. I think at something like that happening, and I'm just kind of wary. I haven't moved yet, but I'm kind of standing and taking everything in.
You can see that Arthur has positioned himself in front of Axiom upon seeing that happen too.
Uh,
But to the being, I asked, "What kind of roses were those? Were you in? If you don't mind me asking."
and Elmar just states, "Please not Sylvanas' garden. Please not Sylvanas' garden."
I was around crystal roses. They were beautiful. This place is awful looking.
Right when he says that, I look at Elmar, like after Elmar says what he said, and I look like pure we done screwed up in my in his face. Like literally, like we have screwed up the natural order again. Kind of look. Like I'm not trying to say
And
it
there
because
is
I
a
don't want to.
very audible face palm.
And I look at Dennis, and I'm kind of like, kind of that look, and I kind of motion him like get up here, like now. like I kind of make a motion. I want to do a sleight of hand motion to kind of like point. Like Elmar already is on. Like I've already clued Elmar in, but I kind of clued Dennis in to kind of point at the magistrate, kind of like to get him, like kind of do a motion where like get him out of here.
In the midst of this, given intelligence of things you've been dealing with, can you right now, Gloom, do a persuasion check, please?
Oh gosh. And I completely forgot that I told the dang thing that he said persuasion.
Persuasion.
Oh, please roll good. Oh, that's a 10. That's a 10.
Before we can get the results, guidance.
Oh,
Add
what do I
another
do with that?
D4.
Okay, hold on.
You added a D4.
Okay.
Because you're
That's-
close enough for me to go. Yeah.
Oh, please help. Oh, that added a 1 to the 10, so that's an 11, I believe.
Okay, so with an 11, and you know, like everyone kind of steers like oh, and so at some point what you said to the newts has kind of finally caught up to where they're smart enough to kind of get back at what you're asking for, and a few of them have begun to bite them, like to bite Axiom and
Arthur.
Arthur.
Okay.
And so flailing, they're just basically flailing off. And again, there was like 50 newts around them now, so there's this like little miniature army of newts who are rather upset. I'm gonna make some dexterity saving throws, and I will let you know how this goes.
As a player, I technically, I kind of after I found all of that out, I kind of said that out of anger. I think I kind of wanted them to kind of like shake Arthur and Axiom up, but I don't think I wanted this result like at this time.
So,
What happened?
Arthur, you can basically tell Arthur is an accomplished warrior of some sort. Arthur is not having a problem. Arthur is basically batting away newts like it's their job, and basically, no, get out of here. I don't need you, and batting them away. Axiom, on the other hand, though, who also has a large number of newts, kind of was getting overwhelmed. Like you saw basically a pile of 10 newts just like jump through the robes and just like spin them almost with how they're flailing around. And they did not look like they took that, and they took some damage on that.
Yeah. After finishing with the face palm, Elmar turns around and glares at Axiom.
And reconnection successful. So it just unconnected and is reconnected. Let's see if it basically it's Spectrum internet looks like my upload speed's back up to 11, which is at least closer to average. Hey, look, we are maybe streaming again. Let's find out if we are. Give it a minute. And we're back on stream. So, don't know where exactly cut out. The things that have recently happened. Welcome back. We are back. Yay.
Yay.
We realized that there's a bunch of newts now biting Axiom. There is still the large snail-ish creature, because that's what we've determined apparently it is, for now. Then we also but you just cast Luster Restoration on a newt, right?
Yep.
And so that newt now is green.
I'm currently kind of focused on the creature, but I'm also focused on what Elmar is doing. And do I see like the spell go off like in his hand or whatever?
Give me a
he's not subtle.
Well, but give me a perception with disadvantage, because you have that other large creature that's kind of your concern.
I'm split focused right now. And he said perception. Please give me a good number. That is a 12. So it's not horrible, but not great at the same time.
You can tell something happened over there. You're not exactly sure what. But it appeared like something happened.
Gotcha.
Well, Axiom is kind of like in the throes of being bitten and being, just dealing with the newts. He swats a set of 2 newts away into the large creature before you. They basically just kind of like whap off the side of the creature. It's like boop, boop, wow. And you hear, what was that?
Oh, I'm so sorry. We have a little bit of, we have some newts in the classroom, and they're kind of going everywhere. It happens sometimes in our world. So you were in the, I kind of this. Yes.
The newt in my hand has been healed. And
I
it was
dared
a
it.
green newt.
Of course it was. I kind of I turn to the being and I'm like, could you hold on just one more second? We'll definitely get you back to where you were and everything. Get you all comfy and everything. I just have to deal with something. Just 1 second. And I turn.
Home.
I know we're gonna get you home as soon as we can. While we're trying to figure out how to do that. So just bear with us just for a second. I turn to the classroom that's full of newts. Can I get all the newts to listen to me for a second? I need you all to stop. I need specifically the green newts to pipe up, because I believe we have one more of you that may be quote unquote poisoned. We need to figure out where you are. I'm hoping I still have 10. I'm still in the 10-minute range of this spell.
You have about a minute left.
Okay.
So you do see the newts mostly stop. I say mostly because you have about, I'd say, like the newts that are still kind of on Axiom. Yeah, are just kind of like looking over, but not really stopping, because they're still moving around, because you can tell Axiom's trying to, get them off and things too. So they're not really stopping and fully paying attention. So that's going on.
I turn to oh my god. I am seriously gonna write this down, how to actually spell the name and everything, because I don't have the Twitch stream up right now. Danis, could you I hate to ask this of you, but can you try to get the newts off of Axiom, please, so they're both not flailing around, so we're not throwing newts everywhere, please?
Yeah, so I'll go over and try and help with the newt situation as much as I can.
And Elmar, can you take? I again, I'm trying not. I'm so sorry that I'm trying to be the leader right now, but as of right now, I kind of started all this and kind of I'm trying to make this finish.
You're the
Elmar,
animal expert. It makes sense.
Yeah. Elmar, can you grab, with the Magister's help, can you find the other newt that is poisoned, and please separate him from his friends? Do not hurt him. Just try to like make sure we know where he is, because we're obviously gonna have to deal with him later.
Elmar, give me a perception check.
And I'm gonna guidance myself in the process, because
Guidance.
14.
Elmar, you do not notice another poison newt anywhere. But upon being encouraged to, work with the Magister to find it, you realize the Magisters kind of went out of view for a moment. And as you turn, you see that the Magister is kind of has moved towards the large creature. And,
Oh no.
And is basically is just about to just lay a hand of some sort on it.
Magister, I would not recommend doing that.
I've never been so close to the divine, young man. If this is the form that the Lord of the Forest wishes to take, I have to appreciate it for what it is.
Sir, I can assure you this is not the form of and I turn to Elmar. What was the name of the god of the old one again?
It is not the form of Sylvanus.
Thank you. It is not the sword of Sylvanus. It is something else that we have brought from his realm. It is very confused. It is scared. Please do not touch it. Please.
Give me a persuasion check.
Fudge. I knew you were going to ask that.
Guidance.
Thank you. Gosh, guidance. Guidance is going to come clutch today.
Ooh, this could be a big check.
Is guidance
It's a D4.
No, I said, is guidance a cantrip?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's
also,
not bad.
With the fact that I'm providing some insight and suggestions, can you roll that with advantage?
Not in this situation.
Okay.
And a D4, which it's already an 18, plus 3, so that is a 21 for persuasion.
You saw the Magister about to basically set a hand on this creature, but he hesitates.
Touch the creature.
He hesitates and just looks back.
And
this is not Sylvanus?
No, it is not.
No.
And I believe if you touch him right now, we're gonna have to deal with something that is literally in our world would be considered an infant. Or something that is very confused to where you may scare it, and I don't want to scare him. So please, if you could, just back up. We'll probably talk to Sylvanus later, but as of right now, we need to figure out how to get this guy home. Because he is scared, and I do not trust anybody else that is not in this room right now to be in the presence of this thing.
So, as you're saying this, and as you've noticed, he stops and he does not move forward. He lowers his hand. Dennis, you moved over to help with the newt situation on Axiom. Axiom, you're able to assist in kind of getting these off of Axiom and just brushing them off, and just like, but Axiom hasn't been paying, like, they haven't been paying attention like the last couple of minutes because they've been kind of fighting off newts in all of this too. Axiom looks just tremendously frustrated and done with everything. I cannot believe that I have to touch these things and I have to be here. Being here is beneath me and my station. Why are we even... why am I even pretending to be anywhere with this? So you see, Dennis, that Axiom is just kind of like frustrated and basically just kind of starting to ramble on. As they do this, basically they make their way to the middle between the desks and just like brushing themselves off and in their frustration just kind of moving forward.
Right.
By the time hits where the Magister is lowering his hands, Axiom has made their way to the front of the first set of desks,
which is still in between. Like, I'm still in between. Would be in between Axiom and the creature still. And so would Elmar.
Not to where the creature moved when it bounced the table off the wall.
Okay.
Your creature, if you look at the lectern that's up there, the creature has moved to the left of the lectern, basically with its location now.
Okay.
And between those first two desks stands Axiom. I am done with this class. I am done with this. This is not even necessary. I do not care what advising or my father says. This is not necessary. And he's basically glaring at the Magister while saying this. You can take all of this junk, and he's looking at the desks next to him. He kind of spills there's a little space where the newt would have went in a feather too. He kind of spills that off on the desk to the left. It is not necessary. We don't need any of this. From the desk on the left side, he grabs a book. That book he just willy-nilly kind of tosses forward.
Towards the creature?
Towards the creature without aiming for it.
Okay. Please tell me he has a bad arm, because I do not think I can smack the book.
You basically see the book leave his hands.
With shield up. With his shield up. Elmar will move to make sure that the book hits him instead of the creature.
Okay, so you're going to have to make a dexterity check here. And I will tell you that it is a bit high based on where you're located currently. You kind of have to dodge the butt end of the creature to get around to this.
15?
So, you move because you realize that this book is just flying in a random direction. You could tell he basically was throwing at the Magister without realizing, hey, what's behind the Magister? It's a big creature. Huh. So, you move to basically kind of swing this out of the way. You get to the Magister and are able to basically move the Magister, because you could tell also this might have clipped the Magister at the same time too. So you kind of are pulling double duty here and move that out of the way. And as you reach out your hand to grasp the book, it just goes slightly above your hand into the creature. You have about 15 seconds left on your spell. At this point, that's not okay. That's not all right. From-
You
I know
pretentious idiot.
I know I am sorry. That wasn't intentional or anything. It will be dealt with in a second. Just try to remain calm. All
You're
right.
right. At that, they
Fudge.
swing one tendril at Axiom. Let's see how this goes.
Oh gosh.
Just at Axiom, no one else.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But Elmar actually calls Axiom a pretentious idiot.
I was about to say if you wanted an Elvish, Gloomthorn's about to say a bunch of choice words in Elvish.
Whew, okay. They
no.
the creature swings at Axiom. Axiom sees this and realizes that's a creature back there, which somehow they had forgotten in all of this, and very swiftly takes a step back. Magister, I'm going to withdraw from the course. I will see you later, and moves backward. The creature, noting that this happens and that they are leaving, they are moving, you hear, and that's it, cutting off from the end of your spell.
I have to look at that and see if that's a first level spell or something. Well, technically I can do it as a ritual, but
Ritual takes like an hour to cast or something like that, or 10 minutes to cast, I think.
yeah, which is not enough time. So either, oh gosh, I have to look at how many spell slots I have again, because I may have to burn another spell slot to do
I've
another.
already burned up all my second levels.
I have to look at spells. Hold on. Spells.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run back to where my equipment is and just make sure that I'm prepared for anything that's about to happen.
Yeah. Elmar is actually going to make his way past the pretentious idiot to the class door and stand in front of it.
Well, that's gonna be a long way, but I don't know if this is going to. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Because I forgot I have one of my spells is animal friendship. I don't know if this is gonna work though.
Speak with animals is a first level spell. So you should be able to cast it 3 more times.
Okay.
That is true.
Also, animal friendship is kind of like I'm trying to charm the animal, and if it goes bad, if I don't like roll high enough, I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, it could be bad. It could be bad. But let me give one quick read over again the spell. Just make sure I'm not gonna animal friendship. It's a level 1 enchantment. The spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Its duration for 24 hours. Choose a beast you can see within range. It must see and hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, you must succeed a Wisdom saving throw or be charmed by me. I can also cast it at higher levels, which means it just affects one more additional beast.
Well, one thing I would like to point out that the way this creature's acting, it already knows that you mean no harm.
Mhm.
After all, you've been going out of your way to apologize to it for everything that's happened.
Mhm. So probably
So
not. Well, that would be the thing is it'd be charmed by me, so it would be like best friends with me for 24 hours. Whereas the speak with animals will only last 10 minutes. That's the kicker.
yeah, but the
Uh,
animal friendship won't allow you to communicate with it.
no, it will not. It must understand me for this, or it must see and hear me. Is all it says. And it says if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. But it would have to succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed for the spell's duration.
As you
So
were
basically,
deciding that, because
Mm.
let's see, who do I have moving? Somebody had Elmar. You were moving towards the door. Um,
Yep.
you are beaten to that door by Arthur, and you could tell Arthur must have cast something to make himself that quick because he dashed to that door in a way that was not necessarily natural. So Arthur is there ahead of you.
I will look at him and say, your little buddy has to face the consequences of his actions.
Man, let me clue you in. People like him, none of them face consequences for anything. Just gotta deal with it. We're gonna go anyway. Y'all be fine.
Yeah, see, here's the thing that
He-
you're mistaken on.
He opens the door, by the way, because he's at the door.
And I put my hand on it. Even he isn't above the consequences of offending the gods.
Uh, give me a strength check.
Oh, he beats me. I got an 8.
Um, he Arthur respects of what you said and kind of takes in what you said, and he's just like, I understand. Um, everybody's got to settle up with their god that speaks through flowers and apples whenever they got to. It's fine. And he opens the door, and at that point, Axiom arrives and says, "Thank you. Good luck." And basically walk through the door.
I say very as I see this happening, I say very loudly in Elvish for Axiom to hear. I call him a coward in Elvish.
Do the same thing in Celestial.
They basically they don't even acknowledge. They don't turn around, but they are going to keep going.
They don't care.
Nope, just
I
going to
know,
keep going.
but it's as a player, that just gives me the satisfaction where I'm kind of like I just can't deal with. So now that they're out of the room, it's probably animal friendship is going to be whatever. So I am going to again cast speak with animals on myself so we can still talk to this thing.
You do. You cast it. You hear. Why does everyone have to be mean in places? I just want to go away and go home.
I know, and I'm very sorry for what they did, and they were very, very rude. They were very rude. And so, but now they're gone. You don't have to deal with them anymore. You just have to deal with us. We're gonna try to figure out how to get you home.
Does it look like the creature has suffered damage?
No,
Don't worry about
not in the least.
Does it look like the book is like literally like just stuck in him?
No, it just looks like they were the book didn't look like it did any damage. Though it did seem like, based on how you heard it, because you could still hear them, that they were very offended.
Yeah.
So it's more psychological damage than.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's kind of how it went.
I will walk over to my desk, grab the apple that I was given, walk over to the creature, and very gently offer it to him.
The creature looks it over, and Gloom, you hear, oh, that's very nice. And you see, like, it doesn't like send an end of a tendril down, but like what you would maybe consider an elbow, at like towards it, and like kind of wraps sticks to it there, so it takes it out of your hand. Well, I guess if we must return this creature to where it came, if it is not one that we can leave here and in the study, we must send it back. I think we just need to do the spell in reverse, the right components. We should be okay. Hold on. And the Magister seems a lot more tired at this point from everything that's been going on. But he does reach into the chest is still onto the podium, and he reaches in, takes out a feather, takes out a newt. But he's kind of looking around. He's like, I added that dust to this spell. I need.
Did you save some of that?
And I go to my desk, I reach into my bag, and I pull out the vial. Are you talking about this, sir?
The Magister slowly makes his way up to it. Says, yes, that looks like the same material. Oh, I don't think I'll have to use all of it. Let's just take a pinch here. So he reaches into the vial and takes a pinch and kind of rubs it along the edge of the feather.
And he used a newt that was poisoned.
He grabbed a green newt. So you can the Magister at this point has kind of made a determination that green newt was part of the spell before. So
because of the fact I healed the one that was poisoned.
Yep. He had noticed that as well. He's moving towards just kind of back towards the center and where he had originally done his ritual, and he just kind of stops but I feel like we could learn so much. Just you there, you were speaking to them, right?
Yes.
Can you just ask? Are all the old ones real? And do they know about us? Do they care about us?
I relay the question to the creature, word for word.
Yes, they are amongst everything, at least for now, and maybe we hope.
I look at the Magister and it says, yes, they're in all things, and they care for all things.
Magister seems a little bit more, less, solemn, he kind of resigns to the idea. Okay, well, all right, well, best send this thing off. Goodbye,
Oh,
beautiful creature.
we
What are
never
you gonna
learned
say?
its name.
Oh, I did ask his name. Oh, his name was, and I say the name in the way that the and I say in actual um and I say goodbye to him, to the creature.
Dennis,
To
give
get,
me
get it.
Dennis, give me a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Hey, that's 20.
Okay, so you realize as the ritual's starting, as the magister is doing it, that there is a lot of activity because you're over by where all the newts were. That there's a lot of activity going on, and so the newts, as like a group, especially like looking like 50 newts, all make their way towards the front, and you kind of have to move out of the way because you saw them bite the other folks. You didn't really want to get in the way of 50 newts, so you jump out of the way. You're not really disturbed by any of them. They kind of make their way up to and just kind of nudge up against the large creature, not in any menacing kind of way or anything, just kind of like start kind of climbing up the shell.
Like they're hugging it.
Yes, basically, like they're hugging it. As the Magister finishes the spell and kind of runs it along the edge of the tail, you see you start to hear that hum again coming through, and then just getting louder. What is it? Do you have my snail? You
Some pretentious idiot named Avion or whatever he wants to call himself caused your snail to be summoned here by mistake.
And I assure you, he will be dealt with in our own way. You don't need to worry about it. We are sending your snail, hopefully, back to you if we are doing this correctly.
Things need to stop moving between worlds. And at that, you hear a large crack. And the same level of disappearance takes place for the snail, and also all of the newts who had been clinging to the snail at that point. They all just disappear. You know
And
in that
this,
another quite a bit of pink powder is now kind of lining the floor in that space, based on what much larger creature and a much larger transmutation. There's a large amount of pink dust everywhere now.
yeah, and before everything finishes, uh, Elmar will, like, hopefully, if Sylvanus is paying attention, so Elmar will bow to him and say, "We apologize profusely for the inconvenience again."
Um, you sense that you were able to send that prayer out, but there might not have been a direct connection to that. The Magister kind of comes back over the podium, looks down, and says, "Well, we'll definitely have to pick some of this up. This seems like a useful commodity to hold on to. We'll do that." So he encourages you all to come and help him, and he kind of get a few different vials and
Yeah.
are able to pull the powder together. At that point, he kind of yes.
And before Gloomthorn's uh, spell ends, Elmar will go, "Might want to double check with this little guy that it was Avian, that was, or Avian, whatever you want to call that pretentious douchebag, uh, was responsible for what happened to it.
That word you said, that of Mr. Kavanaugh, I understand he is a problem, and my guess is this was his way to not be in class if class was not in session or whatnot. I will tell you, when if you've spent enough time in the city, that any Kavanaugh who cuts any way gets most of their way in this city. So, you all be sure to watch yourselves. He's probably not going to forget what took place here today. Especially with the fact that you all get A's for today, and he is definitely not getting anything less than an F today.
Sir, two questions while I'm talking to the Magister. I put a finger down to the little guy that Elmar I kind of pet the little newt, like making sure he's okay and everything. Sir, what we did was dangerous, and I think we need to try to split as much of that pink powder up as we can, because in the wrong hands, this could be very dangerous.
Well, of course. Again, but to be fair, we are the professionals here. We are the ones who have to bear the responsibility.
But also, can you? I know pretentious half elf. He deserves all that's coming to him, but can you kind of go easy on Arthur? Because I think there's something else going on there, and I don't think Arthur is being truthful that he's absolutely okay with the company that he keeps. It seems
I
like.
agree.
We'll take it. Go ahead.
The little spat I had with him earlier was with the pretentious douchebag, was me saying in Celestial that I think the reason why Arthur had to be here is because the Kavanaugh was forcing him to be here.
Oh. And I turned to
and he tried to call me filth.
I turned to our other fencing buddy, and I go, "Thank you for trusting me when I asked you to help them with the newts and everything, and I'm glad I know you."
Sure. Yeah, of course.
And at that point, I say in actual beast speak, or whatever language the newts do. I asked the little guy, like, "Hey, are you doing okay? You doing okay?" While I'm petting him.
Yeah. He's definitely not saying no to that, because he's just like enjoying it at this point.
Okay.
Well, I guess this is.
Did you ask him if he confirms that he was poisoned by the douchebag?
I do ask. Was the half elf? Was he the one that did the bad thing to you?
You get a head shake, yes. At that point, you all hear a large bell toll, as the bell tolls for your next class. Which at this point, how you're going to top what just happened, even. And with that, you are ushered off out of the classroom and onto your day. And for us, we are on to the end of our day today and our session. So I appreciate each of you for taking the time with that. It was a very interesting one because it could have went a lot of different ways. This one, it was kind of neat. I was very appreciative of where we went to. You all encountered a flail snail, which I would not have. If we could have went a lot of bad ways if you tried to engage it. So I'm kind of glad you chose a peaceful route around
Common-
that.
The common sense approach.
Well,
I-
it's magic resistant and it causes issue when you cast spells on it. So if you had cast Animal Friendship, we could have had so many other issues.
Oops.
So
I'm glad I didn't.
so we got this kind of fun little here's and there's. This has been Evils of Enferacuse. Ethereal Rituals 204 was one shot. I want to thank each of you for your time today, and I want to invite you to again introduce yourselves, give yourselves a plug for the things that you do and or care about along the way, and we will start with Elmar.
Hello, I am Old Worm Slayer. You can find me occasionally participating in one shots and the Gods of Orlea Chaoticum one shots. I had the pleasure of playing Elmar, the variant Asmar Cleric of Light. Kiss ass to the gods. But sometimes kissing the gods' ass is better than intentionally pissing them off.
Well said. On to Gloomthorn.
Hi, my name is Brian. This is the first time I've ever done a one shot, and I've had a fantastic time doing this, and I will definitely be doing this a lot more in the future, especially on this channel. And I got to play Gloomthorn, the rock gnome, who, just like his dark blue hair says, he may be mysterious, but he knows how to fumble his way to a good ending.
Very nice. And last but not least, Dan Stray.
Hi, I am. My friends call me Pengu, but I'm Forgetful Penguin here on Twitch. I stream and do all sorts of variety gaming, and I'm kind of getting into the D&D streaming world. But yeah, you can find me at Forgetful or at Twitch.com or Twitch.tv/ForgetfulPenguin. And yeah, I'm glad. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I hope to be around more. Hope to get some more opportunity in this world. It's been fun.
I'm very glad to hear that. And again, I am Concleod Owen, your evil DM for the Evils of Enferacuse. I appreciate everything you can do to come over and support the channel. I am right now, hopefully, and that's hopefully going, unless somebody else would like to post the Discord link, we highly encourage you to join the Discord. The Discord is the best way to find out the schedule for Mayhem Gaming. We also, not only on this channel, run Evils of Enferacuse, which is one-shots leading to a campaign in the next year. We also have Aractune Rising on Friday nights, which is not only on Friday nights, but also has a play-by-post feature in our Discord, as well as Planetscape, Edge of the Void, which takes place, it is released on our YouTube channel on Tuesdays, which hopefully, maybe not, maybe we'll be moving over to live Twitch. We're going to work on it. Who knows? I'm hoping so. Gray, if you're still out there, please don't hate me. But otherwise, thank you for your time. Thank you for being evil, and keep being awesome. And with that, we are going to go off and raid a channel. Since I am one of the only ones as a DM who knows how to do raids on our channel, we are going to do that. We're going to find out who is playing Dungeons and Dragons right now that we can go and send this to along the way. And it looks like... Old World Charm is playing. We're going to send it off to them. We follow them. So we will go and raid their channel. I highly recommend. Feel free to drop in, listen to their campaign, and follow them as well. Bye, folks. And like I said, keep being awesome. Take care of each other. Thank you, all of you, for playing tonight. It was very much appreciated, and we hope you'll be back sometime soon.